Hi, welcome to Yoga for July 4th. This is your free session for the 4th of July, so I really hope you enjoy it. So we'll start with some basic upper body warm-up, and then we'll go ahead and do some breathing exercises. We'll come standing and do a standing sequence of vinyasas. And then finally, we'll lie down on our back, and then we'll do either a bridge pose. If you want to take that up into an upward facing bow, feel free to do that. And then we'll finish it up with a shoulder stand and a fish pose. So let's go ahead and start. I really hope you enjoy your 4th of July free session of yoga. All right, so let's go ahead and come seated on our heels. Now, if that is very uncomfortable for you for whatever reason, you can always just sit cross-legged, but if you can sit on your heels, do that. Or you can place a block, sit on that block, have your blocks and strap handy before we continue here. So you can just sit on your block so it takes the pressure off of your ankles, and you can just follow along from there. That's an option. So either way, you're either sitting cross-legged or on your heels, or you're using the block to sit on your heels. So from here, we're just going to rotate our wrists a couple of times to either side. Take your right hand, place it on your left shoulder blade, so as far across that upper back as you can. And just take a couple of deep breaths there. Release it. Take your left hand, place it on your right shoulder blade. Just push the elbow in with your right hand so you get that shoulder stretch and that left side stretching. And slowly release it. Rotate your shoulders, just going back 2 times, coming forward 2 times. And then just repeat that. So going back 2 times and coming forward 2 times. Let's take a couple of quick side stretches here. Left hand down, right palm facing up. Really feeling that stretch from your right hip up the right side, all the way up from that right shoulder into your hand. Inhale, come back. Right palm down. You can totally put some weight on that right palm a little bit, and then just stretch. Feeling the stretch. Left hip, left side, left shoulder, all the way up. And slowly come back. Take both your hands to the sides. Push back and relax. Push back into your shoulder bones, into that shoulder blade, and relax. 2 more. Push back and relax. Last one. Push back. Exhale. Relax. And bring your hands back down. Place both your palms down, wrist pointing towards me. Soften your elbows. Just give your forearms a stretch. Take your right hand out, push back with your left hand. Take your left palm out, push back with your right hand. And then inhale, take both your hands up through the sides. Interlace your fingers behind your head as you exhale, stretch all the way up. Chin to your chest. Find a focus point. Take 2 deep breaths here. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears just to get the shoulders to stretch. As you exhale, slowly release it. Bring your hands back down through the sides. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, take both your hands up. Interlace your fingers behind your head and lift all the way. And you can do all this even if you're sitting cross-legged, or if you're in a half lotus position, or if you're sitting on that block, whichever position that you chose, you can still do these. And as you exhale, coming back down. And then let's go ahead and do our breathing exercises. Again, Sit in the position that's comfortable for you. Stretch your legs out, support under your knees with blocks, or you can sit on a pillow and then you can do a half lotus position. You can just sit cross-legged, doesn't have to be a half lotus position. If you're doing the half lotus, whichever leg is comfortable for you to put on top of the other, go ahead and do it. For me, it's left over right, so if whatever works for you. Hands on our thighs, palms up, index fingers to the thumbs. Roll your shoulders back away from your ears. Just gently shift your weight forward so your hips stay nice and long right through, and that kind of keeps your back nice and upright. So let's go ahead and take 6 deep breaths here. So inhale and exhale 6 times. Continue to maintain your posture, eyes closed. We are going to do 4 counts to inhale, 8 counts to exhale. So efficient inhale for 4 and use the whole 8 counts to gently pull your belly button in towards your spine. Feel that lift in your upper abdominal region and then slowly release it to inhale again. So use the whole 8 counts to exhale and be able to feel that breath work. So 4 inhale, 8 exhale, just 4 times through. And when you finish, you can open your eyes. We can do our Ujjayi breathing. So chin to your chest. We're going to do 5 inhales, 10 exhale, 4 times through. 5 to inhale, 10 to exhale. When you finish that exhale, pull that belly button in, lift up. And then if you can engage your sphincter muscles, lock, that's closing those anal muscles just for a second before you inhale again, do that. If not, it's fine. Just the upper abdominal lock is fine. And then you can slowly release to inhale again. So 5 to inhale, 10 to exhale. Just lock everything in for a second there and go again. 4 cycles. Take your time. When you finish, you can bring your head up and open your eyes, and then let's come standing. We're going to do a standing vinyasa sequence. Really opens up your shoulders, upper back, chest. It's an upper body sequence. So feet together in your Tadasana. Inhale, take both your hands up. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Exhale, stretch all the way up. And as you exhale, slowly bring your hands back down. One more time. Inhale, take both your hands up through the sides. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Exhale, stretch all the way up. Once you have your hands all the way up, you're going to transfer your weight into the balls of your feet. Lift your heels off the ground. If it feels like your weight is going back, just pull your hips forward and your shoulders even more forward. So shoulders in front of your hips, really taking a moment to balance there. Find a focus point. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, slowly, deliberately bring your heels back down. You're on flat now, so take a nice deep inhale, exhale, and bring your hands back down. Let's do that balance one more time. Inhale, take both your hands up through the sides. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Exhale, stretch all the way up. Once you're there, you're going to move your weight forward into the balls of your feet and then just lift your heels up off the ground. Shift your weight forward. It almost is like looking down, peeping into something so that you can keep your balance. And as you exhale, slowly release your heels down. As you do that, bring your hands back down as well. And then inhale, take both your hands up. Keep them parallel. As you exhale, go into your half squat position. It doesn't have to be your deepest half squat. We're going to do a few more of these so you can deepen as you go along. With the half squat, be mindful. You do want to stick your hips outward, but you don't want to arch your back too much. You just want to keep it neutral as you can. Inhale, come back up, and as you exhale, bring your hands back down. Inhale, take both your hands up, and then you're going to drop both your palms on your shoulder blades. Elbows facing upwards, hands away from the back of your head. Chin to your chest, feet together. If you can gently just lift from your ribs, open your chest, relax your head back to get that upper body stretch, upper back stretch. And as you exhale, release it into neutral spine. Interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows go facing outwards. Inhale, stretch all the way up. And as you exhale, bring your hands back down. One more time, inhale, taking both your hands up, and then you're going to place your hands on your shoulder blades, palms down, elbows facing upward, and hands away from the back of your neck. So you're not pressuring your hands into the back of your head, and then that kind of puts your head down. While you're there, you're going to take a half squat. So go ahead, leave your hands there into your half squat. Slowly inhale, come back up. Interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows facing outwards. Inhale, stretch all the way up. And as you exhale, bring your hands back down. From there, inhale, take both your hands up through the sides. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Exhale, stretch all the way up. We're going to take 2 twists, so you can go to your right side first. So when you're ready, just twist to your right side. Your toes still stay pointing forward. You twist to your right side. Look up at your hands when you reach that maximum point of twist. And as you exhale, you're going to try to deepen that twist a little bit every time you exhale. Inhale, come back to the center. As you exhale, you're going to twist to your left side. Toes pointing forward, weight on both feet. You're really feeling this spinal twist. As you exhale, you try to deepen it every time you exhale. Inhale, come back. And slowly bring your chin to your chest. On your exhale, you can bring your hands back down. Inhale and take both your hands up. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Exhale, stretch all the way up. Let's take a side stretch here. So it doesn't have to be entirely to the side. You can go diagonal side depending on where your hips are at and how you're feeling. It doesn't have to be entirely to the side. It can be a little there. So in that diagonal to the front, that works just fine. The top shoulder, you want to try to keep it as open as you can. So when you exhale, you're going to take that side stretch to your right side. Feel free to modify, move, weight stays forward. And as you exhale, you feel yourself drop into that stretch. Slowly inhale, be mindful. Inhale and come all the way up. And then as you exhale, you're going over to your left side. Again, it can be that diagonal forward. If it's just a little too much of a stretch to do straight to the side, you can totally do straight to the side if you're comfortable. Just keep the top shoulder as open as you can. We don't want it to close in front of us. We want to open it up much as we can. Straight hands. Use that exhale to get into that stretch. Then you inhale, come all the way up with your hands up, interlace fingers, and you exhale, bring your hands back down. You're definitely feeling this in your shoulders, so let's counter stretch. You can take your hands behind and fold them and stay there, or you can place your hands palms facing upward. You can place your palms like that and stay there, or you can do palms together and take your hands to the upper middle of your back. So whichever modification works for you, you can go ahead and do that. And then when you inhale, open chest, lift up from the ribs, and then look up. Long back of the neck. There's a difference between collapsing your neck back, which you don't want to do. Just keep it nice and long and supported. And as you exhale, come back into a nice neutral spine. And from there, we'll take a half squat. So go ahead and let's go into our half squat. Feet don't have to be together. They can be a little apart here. They can go right under the hips too. So do your half squat. Be mindful not to stick the butt out and arch the back. Just pull that in. Nice long spine, as neutral as possible. Really stick the hips out. Slowly inhale, come back up, and release your hands. Rotate your wrists, whatever you need there. And then you're going to interlace your fingers behind. Bring your feet back in together. Pull down. Soften your knee to go into a flat back, and you're going to take it's a half forward fold. You're going to take your hands with you into the position. So whenever you need to stop, and then just stay there. So soften your knees first. Just focus on lengthening the spine forward so your chest is parallel to the floor. And then if you want to kind of push into the hamstrings for a deeper hamstring stretch, go for it. If not, soft knees. Soft knees, deeper hamstring stretch. Whatever works for you. Soften the knees, deeper hamstring stretch. And inhale, come all the way back up. And release your hands. Inhale, take both your hands up. And as you exhale, same thing, half forward fold, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Again, soft knees. If it's uncomfortable to keep your hands in front by your ears, you can drop them down, place them on your thighs. Just leave them, or you can hold on to your calf muscles. You can do whichever works for you. As you exhale, you're going to slowly drop your hands all the way down into that full forward fold, Uttanasana. So really the aim is to relax here. So don't overstretch your hamstrings, soft knees, chest to your thighs, top of your head reaching for the ground. You can place your hands either on the mat or place blocks. Put your hands on top of the blocks if you need that elevation. You can place your hands on the tops of your feet. Hold on to your ankles. or fold your hands behind your knees. All of those variations that work for your body, go ahead and do one of those. Keep your eyes open, and then if you want to really stretch into those hamstrings, you can release the soft knees a bit. When you inhale, you're going to come back into that half forward fold, and slowly inhale, come all the way up with your hands up, and exhale, bring your hands back down. Then we'll go into the next stretch. Inhale, take both your hands up, keep them parallel, and then you're going to drop the palms of your hand on opposite shoulder blades, elbows facing upwards. Lift up from your ribs, open the chest, take that little upper back arch stretch. And as you exhale, slowly release that into a nice neutral spine. Keep your hands there and go into your half squat. So you can have your feet apart slightly into your half squat. Keep yourself breathing. Inhale, exhale, Ujjayi breath. Inhale, come back up. Interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows out on the exhale. Inhale, stretch back all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands back down. Now we're going to take your left hand across your back over to your right shoulder. Take your right hand, your hands either meet or not. So just take your right hand up and behind your head. If your hands meet, just have them meet and have your fingers kind of interlace and hold on. If not, it's fine. You can just stay right here. And then go over to your other side. Take your right hand across your back over to your left shoulder. And then take your left hand up and behind your head. And if your hands meet, you're going to grip those fingers and get that tension going. So you feel the pull on the right side going down and on the left side going up. Otherwise, just keep your hands, even if they don't meet, just keep it in the right position and try to stay there. Slowly release your hands. And then let's go ahead and take our standing balances. So let's go with dancer 1, dancer 2 first. So stand on your right leg, pick up your left foot, and get into dancer 1. It is just a quad stretch. You're going to feel the stretch right here in your quadriceps of your left leg because you're standing on your right leg. Take your right hand out. And release it, go over to the other side. Once you go into your balance, trying to take 2 or 3 deep breaths. If you can stay there longer, go for it, stay there longer. You can always pause the video and then continue. Stand on the left leg, pull your right leg in, right foot in with your right hand. So the palm of your hand is on the top of the foot. And then take your left hand out. You can always soften your knee a little bit as long as your knee stays right over your ankle. It's a problem only if you start tucking under. So if you're not tucking under, you can soften your knee just a little bit so that you don't overstretch your hamstrings. And slowly release it, come out of it. Let's go back over to standing on the right leg. We're going to do dancer 2, which is a little bit harder. So right leg, stand on your right leg. You're going to pull your left leg in, but you're going from the inside. So inside of the left leg, you're going to hold that foot with your fingers supporting the top of your foot. Your thumb is on the sole of the foot, thumbs up. And then you take your right hand out. Now, you really have to push that leg away from you, up and away, and find a focus point. Slowly release it and come out of it. You're going to feel this in the hand that's holding that foot up in that shoulder. You're going to feel that stretch and that hold, the grip and all of that. If you're feeling all of that, that's good. So left leg, you're going to stand on that left leg, pull the right foot in, inside hold. So you're going from the inside of that right foot. The top of the foot is resting on the palm of your hand, and then the thumb is on the sole of the foot, thumbs up. One side might be better than the other. Once you're here, you really have to think of taking the stretch from the quadriceps into the hip flexors, the hip, the psoas, and so on. So that'll happen. The more you push that leg up and away, the more you also kind of let yourself open up your chest, go towards the ground, but you have your sternum still lifted. Find a focus point. Breathe. Slowly come out of the balance. All right, let's take another balance in the half moon. So you can use a block or not. I suggest using a block. It's always nicer on your hamstring. Once you get there, if you feel like you don't need the block, push it away. So standing on the right leg, put the block about, you want to reach to something, so it's better not to have the block right under or too far away. I would say about a foot away from your foot, depending on the length of your arm. If you're someone who has very long arms, you might want to go a little further away. So you're here. You start to lift your left leg up, reach down to the block. Take your left hand all the way up. Now, if you feel like, you don't really need the block, great. Put your hand down. Activate your back foot so that it's not a dead foot. So you're either flexing it or pointing it intentionally. And that really actually helps your balance. Soft knee is fine. Soften the knee, drop the back leg down, and come back out of it. Let's try that to the other side. Same idea. Use the block. If you get there, you feel like you don't need it, push it out of the way. You want to have a place to go to because you're going to transfer your weight and reach into something. So you need to have it far away enough so that you can reach to something. Yes. But I always feel like the alignment is a lot better, shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. Then you can reach over and then adjust your balance. So you're here, and then you're going to start to lift the back leg up. As you do that, you're going to start reaching down for the block. Now you have your shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. If you feel like you don't need the block, you can take it away and try to stay in that balance. It's hard to face in front. So if you feel like your balance is better when you're looking down at your hand, you can go ahead and do that. Also, the standing leg doesn't have to be fully turned out with the toes pointing that way. It can be a little turned in this way to be able to hold your balance. And then as you build more strength, it'll turn out easier and better. Slowly release it, come out of it. And then from there, we are going to come seated. After this, we're going to lie down on our back. So we are going to do 3 cycles of breathing here before we go lying down on our back. So the 3 cycles of breathing, Ujjayi breath, Inhale, hold your breath. Exhale, suspend breathing. So 5 to inhale, 5 to hold, 10 to exhale, 5 to hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 5, 5, 10, 5, 3 times through. Ujjayi breath. Whatever sitting position you are comfortable in, go ahead and get to that position. Hands on our thighs, palms up, index fingers to the thumbs. Closing our eyes, long spine, weight forward. Roll your shoulders back away from your ears, chin to your chest. 5, 5, 10, 5. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 3 times through. Ujjayi breath. Take your time. When you finish, bring your head up, open your eyes, and then let's go lying back on our mat. So you're going to lie down on your back. Feet down the width of your hips. Hands down by your sides, palms down. As you inhale, come up into a nice full bridge position. Use that to inhale, expand the belly, exhale, pull the belly button in towards the spine so you feel this whole region just lifting up and engaging. You can stay there, come out of it, go back into that, stay there, come out of it. So you can do that a couple of times. From here, if you're doing the upward facing bow, you want to place your hands down, fingers pointing towards your toes, wrists pointing away from your toes, and then push into the palms of your hand to lift your head up and place the top of your head down. Once you have that, you can totally just stay there. You don't have to go any further than that if you don't feel up for it. If you feel up for it, go ahead and lift up into your upward facing bow. You can take your heels off the ground, drop them back down. If you're not here, you're in the bridge pose, doing that a couple of times, repeating, or you're in half the upward facing bow, half upward facing bow with your head down, and then you can come all the way back down from whichever position you are in and release it. Once you're back down, we can go ahead and do our fish pose and then our shoulder stand. So lift your hips up, place your palms down. You're going to rest your hips on the tops of your hands. So you have your palms down. Rest that lower back hips on the top of your hand. Extend both your legs out. Pressure into your elbows. Lift up. Drop the top of your head down. You can just stay here. You don't need to do anything else. If you're doing a little bit more, you can slide your hands out from under. Still stay here. Your eyes are open. You can pull your knees in towards your chest. Stay there. Lift your legs up. Stay there. And then you can take your hands, reach them for your feet or in the direction of your feet. Drop your feet down. Drop your hands down. Extend your legs out. Pressure into your elbows to slowly lift your head up. Place it back down. And then from there, you can do your shoulder stand. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Take your legs all the way up into your shoulder stand. Keep your eyes open, chin to your chest. You can skip the shoulder stand if it's not something you are comfortable doing. You can take your feet all the way behind into your plow. Then when you're ready, slowly roll your hips back down with as much control as you can muster. And then we can take our Shavasana. In the Shavasana, if you want to just put your feet down because it bothers your back to have your legs straight out, feel free to do that. If not, stretch your legs out, feet flopping to either side, hands down by your sides, palms facing upwards. And we're going to do a Shavasana for a minute here. Roll your shoulders back into the mat. Close your eyes. And now you can slowly start to come out of Shavasana. Just wriggle your toes and fingers. Feel free to take a longer Shavasana if you need to. Take your hands all the way up, interlace your fingers, stretch, and then pull your knees into your chest, hug your knees, swing your lower back side to side, or just roll that lower back on your mat. And then you can roll over to any side that's comfortable for you, knees close to the chest, head resting on your hands. And when you're ready, you slowly come back up. And then we say Om, hands on our thighs, long spine, back to that beginning position. Exhale together. Take a nice deep inhale. Staying with your eyes closed just for a few seconds. Thank you all so much for being here and being able to do your July 4th free yoga session with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Namaste.